Guys, where are you listening to this right now? I don't know. Are you in the house? Are you in your car? Are you in bed? Which I assume will be in your house, unless you've got problems. I know when you commute to work. Are you in work? Are you doing some spreadsheets, passing a bit of time listening to this? Are you performing an operation? I don't know. Wherever you listen to this podcast and you think to yourself, whew, approximately 1 hour on a Thursday just isn't enough for me to get my fill of the Sly Guy podcast. I want more. Davey, I want to fill my ears with your oral delight more often than just an hour on a Thursday. Well, guess what? You can get more. And where can you get it? That's right, patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast, where you get early access to this podcast, if provided it's ready on time. You get a guest podcast every Friday. You get the extra Sly Guy podcast on Monday. You get Dog Walks with Davey. And you get loads of other stuff too, like vlogs, early access to tickets for big shows. You also get the odd bit of stand-up as well. There's a library of slyness over there on patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast. And it's only £2 for the lower tier. You can pay a £5 and get some more bonus content like nudes. But if you just want the base level stuff, £2 a month. And you know where that money goes? That's right, back into the podcast to make it better, get better guests, get better equipment, just make it better, and also feed my kids, but we'll not worry about them. So if you want to support the podcast, you want to support me, you want to support yourself by way of like turning it around, go to patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast and subscribe now. The Sly Guy Podcast is brought to you in association with MODESTBEER, Modest Beer. That's not their official jingle, but hey, should be. Modest Beer are a delicious beer. Initially originated right here in Hollywood, County Down. They've gone worldwide. They're still based in NI, but you know what I mean. They don't brew out of Hollywood anymore because, as Storms would say, they're big to the boots. Way too big for the boots. Never too big for the boot. Big size 12 on my feet. There you go. So if you want to know more about Modest Beer, go to their website, www.modestbeer.co.uk, where you can find out all there is to know about Modest Beer. You can buy Modest Beer, you can buy Modest Beer merch, and you can subscribe to their brews letter, which is a wee email keeping you up to date on all things Modest. It's worth doing. So I recommend it, and you should do it. Alright? Guys, the Sly Guy Podcast is coming to you live on Friday, the 28th of April. This is no April Fools because it's not even April Fools anymore. It's past that, but it doesn't matter. We're bringing this podcast to the live stage for the millions and millions. Well, it'll probably just be hundreds of people, but it's in the Strand Arts Centre. It's me, Aaron Butler, Psychic Glenn, and more guests to be confirmed. Will there be stand-up? Will there be more guests on the couch? Yes. This is going to be the Sly Guy Podcast, not to miss. Glenn has a wizard sleeve, and I've looked up that wizard sleeve, and he's got some tricks up there for you for the 28th of April. I've looked up Butler's wizard sleeve as well, and he's other things up there that he looked at. So if you want to see it live and in the flesh, the probable only one time we're doing it this year, get to the Strands Arts Centre on the 28th of April for the live Sly Guy Podcast. Why am I doing that in 2023? What a fucking loser.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to the podcast, everybody. This week we have a man, a myth, and a legend. A friend of mine, a friend of yours too now. A man who goes by many names, such as Twanky, as El Goblin King for the Spaniards, and of course, more commonly, Ciaran Bartlett. Ciaran is always fun to have on the podcast. Again, it's not really a podcast, it's just us kind of having a coffee date without coffee. And why do we have no coffee today? Because I had 2 cups of coffee before I got here, and I'm fucking buzzing, mate. So we just had a couple of bottles of water, bit of chat, bit of fun, and I had a laugh. So guys, hopefully you will enjoy it. If you enjoy the podcast, that's another thing we need to say to you. If you listen, share it out, take a wee screen grab, stick it on your socials. Review the podcast where you can, tell a mate about it, recommend it, spread the word, share the clips, do whatever you need to do. Help to grow the podcast, because we're on a wee bit of an upward trajectory at the minute, and long may it continue, and hopefully you will enjoy this little helping, this little dollop of podcast mustard with me and Ciaran Bartlett. Ciaran, welcome to the podcast. We've just been fully chatting there for 10 minutes.
Don't know why I welcomed you to your own.
Listen, you spend as much time here as me, so it's like a joint home. Mate, welcome.
I've been here Mate, I've been in Hollywood 3 days in a row, and Shane was trying to get me here tomorrow as well. Now I like it here, but it is a drive.
It is, yeah. How long does it take? You're today
in today wasn't too bad.
Lisburn, aren't you?
I'm in Lisburn. Today wasn't too bad. I was.
Can I get you to turn around a wee bit? You're too cute a face to be behind that mic.
Today wasn't too bad. Today I did it in about a half an hour, but normally it's like 45. But there was no traffic.
Yeah. See, I get fucked. I don't know if I've said this, but this is why I'm sort of coming around to Lisburn now. I'm forgiving it.
I don't like it as a place. Like
no, but I hated it. Like
I do.
No, but it was just everything it stood for. I just hated it.
I'll say this, right? Find a living, like actually, like the house and all. I don't go to anything in it. I don't like it.
But you know what? Lisburn's town centre's city centre's not too bad.
Do you know, I rarely have calls to go to any city centre.
Yeah.
I'm hardly ever in Belfast city centre. Although I was yesterday, and I will be again next week.
And you where are you going now after this for your meeting?
I'll be going after this probably to the wee Nero in Victoria Square. That's
okay,
in House of Fraser.
See, you know what?
It's handy.
What I don't know whether this is an age thing. It is. But you get to a point where if you're going for meetings, you like there to be parking facilities.
I like there to be a
straight in, park, do the thing, go home again.
Yeah, do you know what I like as well about the parking facilities? I will say, even though Victoria Square
45
quid
for an hour.
they sort of stick their teeth right into your ring piece. But I enjoy the way you take your bank card out, and as you drive in, you go, and on your way out, you go. And it just takes money off you, but it's like £18.
But that's the thing, and because they just randomly do that, because the people who go to Victoria Square speak like this, and they don't mind how much it takes. How much was this today? Oh, for fuck's sake, 38
for parking.
There's a sale on, is there?
Sale.
Goodness gracious, I
Mate, you probably do have a voice better than anybody, right? Can I tell that story? Have we told that one?
Oh no. Go ahead.
I don't know if I've said about this, right? But we were in me and Dave and Shane were at a very pointless meeting one day in Auntie in the BBC, and they brought us in. Oh mate. It's so weird because I was actually doing banter and it was just being like ignored completely and being hated. So like some guy gave us like this was during a pandemic.
But you know what I loved about it? Because weirdly enough, normally like if you go to meetings by yourself, I go to meetings by myself, Shane, you're all very like mature, adult, sensible with it. Whenever we got brought together, three of us, it was like three school kids being dragged to the headmaster.
I would even go further than that and say it was like two school kids and then me when I was at school, not really being a school kid, you know what I mean? Just I'm sitting looking at you and Shane going loving it but also shitting myself.
But it's hard to see with the mask on. I was going over the top of the eyebrows now.
So with the masks, right? I don't know why I'm showing you what a mask looks like, but we had the masks. They gave us these proximity alarms, and the guy handing them out said something like, "Now, if you get close to anybody, I will go off, and you have to take a step back." And I went, "I'm very close to my mother. Is that going to be?" And he literally just went, "No, it's pandemic, right?" And I went, "Right, okay." And
but that triggered me a wee bit because that made me go behind my mask. So that had started the giggles in me.
And then we get inside, and we're in this room. And they're talking to us about all the many things we could maybe do in this room, and it was so pointless.
But it was, to be fair, it was a humongous studio with basically like green screens above about 30 feet up the sky, and they were like, "Could you do something here?" No.
What do you think you could do in here? And I was like, "Make Toy Story 7," because it was fucking mental. And, it was fucking crazy. And anyway, one of the people at this meeting often asks you, have you seen recent BBC output? But it'll not be like, oh, have you seen Peaky Blinders, or have you seen fucking,
Blue Lights,
right? Yeah. It'll never be something like that. It'll always be, have you seen, fucking John Inverdale's take on rugby in the 18th century, right? And you'd be like, no, I haven't seen it. But she mentioned something to Dave that was some rugby output thing that was like, it was like a rugby podcast or something, and it was, have you seen that on Sounds or whatever? And I knew he hadn't fucking seen it. I knew he hadn't, because it was so obscure. And through the mask, this guy goes, yeah, I did see that. And then he goes, say the words.
It was really great.
That's what he said. Oh, it was really great. And I went behind my mask.
And the thing is, normally I say great, but today it was so great.
It was really great. And then she literally goes, "It was great." And I went, and Dave then goes, "Great." And I was literally behind my wee mask, just going, couldn't say anything. You sent me a few times that day. It was the sort of thing though where I couldn't believe what was happening, and I was laughing so much. It was like being at school, because for me, I was always, all the other kids would have said shit, and I would have laughed, and then I would have got shouted at for laughing.
Because there was one bit, I don't know if he did it or you did it. They were saying like some obviously way more technical operation than we could have done. They're like, and you could have this, and then you could be there almost like you're on the pitch, and you could be here in the studio, and it was either you're him and that's him. I was probably standing there going, oh mate, that was so fucking you did a bit. I don't know if it was in your old show where you're still going to do it, so I'll not give it away. But I think it's a bit about walking along the coast.
Oh no, yeah.
And you see people.
Oh, and they talk that way.
But that's my life, right? Yeah. And now I have a thing that I started as banter, right? It was entirely banter, and because Catherine would be a wee bit antisocial, she likes to just go for a walk. She doesn't, keeps herself to herself. Whereas I started when we're walking along the coast. I don't know what it is about that sea air, but it just gets the shoulders back, the chest up, and it just really, from here to here, just morning. And I've started doing morning past me. She's like, that's not how you say it, but I do it.
I know, yeah.
So would almost now be like, don't do it. And then there's times I'll just go over like a super morning and go morning, and it's just
morning.
But nobody,
it's so true.
But nobody blinks an eyelid.
I know, yeah, no, it's great. It was our Kevin discovered a lot of people doing that morning, and then I've started to discover. Do you know what I've started to discover recently? People with horses. Now, I don't mean like. Do you know what I heard? Sorry, just before we talk about horses, I heard some woman on a radio quiz yesterday on like either U105 or Q Radio or something, and it was a radio, like just a quiz on, and I mean the questions were like basic, real basic questions.
What's a four-legged animal? Goes now.
Yeah, right. But do you know what she did? Do you know what she did? She was doing that thing. This is like a thing that started with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where people feel the need to explain their answer in a quiz. And I'm actually forgetting now the one that drove me up a wall. She said, hold on, so horses. It wasn't even about horses. Oh, she said, the question was, who discovered electricity? Right? Now, the answer is Benjamin Franklin, right? I would have accepted if someone had said, oh, maybe like Edison or like Tesla or something. But it was Benjamin Franklin actually discovered.
Was he a president?
No, he was.
Was he a muse?
He was a politician type guy.
Okay, yeah.
A philosopher, and whatever. But he
Edison, was he a president? There's some of them that were like crossover guys.
Yeah, no, he wasn't though. But he was. Edison basically designed the American like electrical network, like the.
And what did AGB do? Didn't he make phones?
Who?
Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Well, funny you mention him.
Yeah.
Right. She goes, oh, well, I know it isn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care who it isn't. Yeah. She was like, oh, I know it isn't
Tiger Woods.
She literally goes, I know it isn't Alexander Graham Bell, because he discovered the telephone. Yeah. And I went, he discovered it or he invented it? Yeah. Did he just fucking made it? It drove me up a fucking wall. Yeah. He discovered. I'd be like going Tim Berners-Lee, discoverer of the internet. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like to discover is to uncover and find, isn't it?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Heinrich Schliemann discovered Troy. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't invent it.
Great.
Alexander, it was just what she said it. Well, he discovered the telephone, didn't he? I'm like, yeah, one day he had his wee brush out and he was just moving wee bits of dirt over, and then he went, holy fuck.
There's a mummified Lady Gaga's head. Oh, it's fuck's shit.
Fucking unbelievable. He discovered a wee thing and he actually thought it was a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And then he opened it up and it was
there
a
you go.
phone.
Is that a duck? No.
Isn't that mental? Yeah. Oh, it fucking drove me up a wall. Anyway, horses, right? So a couple of things have happened recently with horses with me.
Okay.
Where so
See if you lived in like the 500s or something, this would be like a sign. This would be like a Shakespeare. There's another. The horses are back.
I saw an angry horse with buckwheat in its mouth. Anyway, I don't even know what buckwheat is, but anyway.
But horses eat it.
No, right.
Probably.
We so when we were making that Banshee Bone sketch, there was this thing where this woman went by on a horse, and it was like quite. I swear to God, when I say this, it was the biggest horse I've ever. It was like a fucking.
It was a Shire.
It was a war horse, like right, and then she was just quite odd, and it's very like, oh sorry guys, man, you're shot. And I'm like, aye, and maybe your horse is as well, because you're both huge, right?
Yeah.
And then
she unit too.
Oh well, actually, sorry, that sounded wrong. Together they made quite the unit. She wasn't particularly
but listen,
old glass house twank here.
Because
you know,
I feel personally it's a thing that I can't really do. Is ride a horse.
I wouldn't want it. Do you know what? I don't think it would be fair for me to ride a horse.
No. But I mean, if it was a big old war horse or a big Shire
Even
horse,
if it was, I go here.
I would get on it. I wouldn't run with canter.
Mate, sometimes the ground doesn't even want me on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
that's why I don't go off the ground. Like see rides in the fair and stuff. I'll not go on.
I tried to fly last night because I was doing a gig in Cookstown, and I was doing a gig in Cookstown, and I was finishing on. I was coming to the end of the gig, and I said something about Cookstown. I was like, "You guys have been average. This town is average, right?" And we were like, people were laughing or whatever. And I was like, by the way, next time I come here, open a fucking chippy, will you? I says, do you know, because everything was closed. Yeah. I went, do you know what? Apart from kebab shops, but I've never had a kebab in my life, and I'm not starting now. I went, open a fucking chippy for me next time I come to this town. Yeah. I ended up having a fucking reduced prawn sandwich out of Marxie's last night, and some woman goes, shouts out of the crowd, "We don't have a Marxie's." I don't know if you've been to Cookstown. Do you know they have a massive one off? Marks and Spencer's football. Because I was standing in it. I was like, I literally was like, I tried to fly at her. I tried actually to.
But maybe she's not the sort of say good morning and wouldn't understand where Marxie's is.
She it's hard to know if there's a Marxie's when you're fucking elbow deep and little, you know. Yeah.
Now I must say, Little's won me around in the long grass.
Little, I'll say this. Right. Can I say this about Little? And Little, I was a hacky joke. I was hack because it's just to go. Oh, what's the opposite of Marxie's? Little's bakery is it's a taste supreme. It's probably the best one.
I'd say so. Especially now they've branched out away from the wee apple turnovers and they have donuts and all that.
They have all sorts.
It's fantastic.
Also, this other horse thing then.
So the woman's in the big horse. She's a big unit. Walking
they
were
weird, but this is a different horse person then. I was at a sort of meeting recently, and someone started talking about a horse. They started talking about a name. Now, I won't say the real name, but it'd be like me talking about R. Ealing. That's a bad example because that is actually my sister. Hang on, R.
Derek.
R. Derek, right? R. Derek, and it's like when R. Derek passed away, and I went, "Oh, sorry to hear that." Yeah, recently. I went, "Is this a recent thing?" Yeah, a few months back there. We weren't sure where we were gonna bury him. And I'm going, "Fuck, that's rough. Like I can add time on, you know. It's hard to, you know, when things even get, you know, I'm sitting thinking about my experience when my dad passed away, and I'm going, you know, even when things feel like they're getting pushed back a day longer than your family might like, that's awkward because some people, you know, you want to start the grieving process and have the funeral over. Other people don't mind that being stretched out for a week or two, but whatever, right? In Teague households, you're talking 3 days, you know, from death to the burial, like 2 days if you can get it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, we ended up having like an extra day with my dad.
Prods keep him forever,
right? And the prods are just like, here, stay part of the family for another 2 weeks afterwards. Right?
And keep you in the dining room.
And anyway, so our Derek this, our Derek that, we weren't sure where we were gonna bury him because there's a problem really with like water on the land, you know. And I'm going, right? and then it becomes apparent that it was a dead horse.
Right. Okay.
But it was being talked about like it was a human.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
And then it was a dead horse, and the whole problem was there'd been multiple dead horses over the years buried on this land.
Right. Okay.
So where do you find a space for it? And then, you know, are you going to pollute the water on the land? The water source?
Make it in lasagna. Do
Some
whatever.
people were saying, somebody at the thing went, I thought, and they responded as if, I thought Derek was planning cremation, you know, and I'm going, Derek wasn't, do you know what Derek was doing? Eating fucking grass and hay. Derek wasn't going, you know, I was gonna get cremated, but nay.
Yeah.
I think I prefer burial.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
But you know what they've done there that put you off? The fact that they had a human name. Normally horses would be known something like Peaches Fairweather or something.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, so if they were like, Peaches Fairweather's
like
gone.
when the Great Escape died, you know what I mean?
But just Derek the horse.
When Mandy Dingle's Diddy's died.
It was they're much reduced now because she's lost a lot of weight.
Has she?
Oh, Mandy Dingle, aye. But
Mandy Dingle?
Mandy Dingle? Mandy Dingle sounds like something you would get if you prolapsed your hole. Oh, fuck. You'll never believe. Go to the doctor, you've got a Mandy Dingle there. Oh,
do you ever sit on something cold and it feels like you've prolapsed your hole? Like you sit on a flagstone or something?
Have you ever sat on your balls? Or is that a thing? I've done that.
I've done, mate. Yeah. And I'll say this. It's becoming an increasingly dangerous game every time you take a seat. Yeah,
but especially in the toilet, like especially in the bowl, I've crushed it in the side of the bowl before, and it's not a pleasant experience.
Or Kevin sent me a link to a book yesterday called "Why Are My Balls in the Toilet Water?" And other questions men want answers to. I might pat. Just to see what the crack is.
But they've definitely got more malleable over the years.
Sure. I don't think some people get long bag as they get older. I'm getting big bag.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's gone from being hand luggage to being a hold all. Like you know what I mean. It's like, because long bag means it's just getting longer like that. But big bag is like feels like it's just getting more. It's getting stretched out like plasticine a wee bit. You know when plasticine gets overplayed with. Yeah. And people start rolling colours into one. It's like that now.
Because that's what mine's like the chewing gum. I was going to say, like, when you stand on and you pull it up, it feels like my balls just drop out.
Like a Hubba Bubba bag.
Yeah, because you get hot. Because I remember a PE teacher of mine used to have a scent, like a thing he always said and stuck with us, because he was like, your muscles are like chewing gum. He would always say, if you don't warm it up and you just get the stick out of the packet and go like that, it'll break, you'll tear, you'll injure your muscles. Whereas you get in, you chew it up, you warm it up. You know, so it was always a good thing. And I think for me the balls are the same. Like when your balls sit in your bag all day, which they do.
Yeah, they do tend to do.
Yeah, if they left in your pants all day, they just get hot, and then whenever you unleash them, they just roll out.
I see. Yeah,
it's wild.
At the minute, mate, you know what's good for that though? Manscaped ball deodorant.
Yeah,
it means that when you do release them, the sort of smell a wee bit spicy and not. Yes. Not vinegary.
Yeah, no, I do like the
Old Spicy, I meant to say.
Yeah, not just like.
Don't mean like you roll it out and it's like a fucking handful of cumin.
Yeah,
like, you know,
it's some tarragon in your bag there. But no, I think I do like the ball deodorant from Manscaped. I must say, I do like that. But maybe controversial to say it, but I prefer the Lawnmower 3.0.
Oh, you did say that before,
I just preferred it. I feel like it was better, more rubbery and heavier. I think the other one's a wee bit lighter and a bit more plasticky.
I like my wee one though.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, what's your go-to? Because I cannot do it without the wee guard on it. I like maybe a one all over. I don't like it to be totally.
I don't think there's a wee guard on mine. It's just off.
Oh wow! And you go in, you've no incidents.
No incidents.
I haven't either.
We snag.
Yeah. What I did do
Snaggletooth.
What I did, it was carnage. I was in a rush to give it a wee quick once over because I thought I was going to take your time, but. I reached in and got my beard trimmer instead by accident and just brought it straight down there, and it was like shaving kebab meat off a bloody meat pole. It was horrible. It was not a good experience for me that day. It was not a good experience.
I don't really like doing it. I tend to just I'm actually going to give you a bit of truth.
Yeah.
One truth bomb?
Yeah, one truth bomb. Let's go.
I think the bit that I most enjoy getting rid of hair on is like up at the tips of my sweat lines here.
Yeah.
I feel if that's bald, I'm a better guy when that's baldy.
Yeah, no, it's because they're the random bits. They're like the base camp of Everest. There's a lot there. And
that's like the the epicenter of itch. By
Yeah.
the way, like if I see when the grow back starts, that's the worst bit. Is in
Yeah.
right up the top of the sweat lines. Like,
See,
where it becomes where the sweat lines meet the crevice.
Yes.
That's where I'm talking about.
or the abs meet the whatever the V's are.
Yeah,
in
and see
there.
if abs.
Listen, that's what I said.
I don't
They're
have
there.
abs.
They're there
I don't
somewhere.
have them. I
They're there
don't have 'em.
somewhere. They're inside waiting.
Flabs. I have. I no. See, this is the thing. There needs to be research done into the parts that a fat man grows, so that there can be products made for them. I've yet to find an effective, crevice cleanser. You know what I mean? I get in there, but you know, like one of them puffy shower ball things.
Yeah.
I get in there, soaped up the fuck.
Not one of the long ones. So there's like
on a
looks
stick.
like coral.
Oh no, like a
Just
loofah
like
thing.
they're not called poofies, are they? What are the things that women use to douche themselves?
Yeah, like a
It's
a
magic.
shower puff.
Something like that.
No.
I don't know the name. Because you put the tiniest wee bit of stuff.
Ah,
And
it just
lathers.
becomes, that's what you
mad,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever used Imperial Leather shower gel? It's like in a tin.
No, because I'm traumatized by it. I was brought up on the bars of Imperial Leather,
Fair enough.
and
yeah.
this is before I knew what pubes were, and there's always my dad's pubes on it because my
Right,
dad used a
right.
sponge, and so I think he just rubbed the fucking bar
So-
soap everywhere
soap
and then
straight
sponged
in-
it off. Yeah,
straight into the lines. Like I've done that, but like I'll do you know what I would do with the bar soap after I've done that? I'll hold it under the water for a second
yeah,
on
that's
both
fair.
sides. Remove any excess.
I remember I had a party trick in the shower, which I've never said any publicly before, and I've realised now it's weird. I would put it between my bum cheeks and squeeze them together and shoot out into the ground. Really,
That is a party
quick.
trick.
Yeah, it was
like,
pretty good. Like, but it had to be the Imperial Leather bars because you could wedge them and then.
Do you know what's very underrated as an adult? Having like a bottle in the bath or something. Like,
They just pour stuff on
just
you.
to like play with.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I used to see whenever you were when I was getting a bath as a child. See if like the bubble bath ran out,
Yeah.
that was the best bath
Yeah,
because
with a
you
bottle.
could just count around that bottle the whole time.
Yeah.
I would pretend it was a boat, and then you make it into a submarine, and then
See, yeah,
you know.
you could always work it.
I
out.
was like I'm weird that way. Like I
Yeah.
had a very active imagination.
Yeah.
Like what was once a bottle of Tesco creme bath. Magnolia could very quickly become U1571, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's very.
We're taking Antwerp, like.
I had a mate who got caught by his mum once. He climbed out of a bath and he'd done shit in it and he was playing submarines with his shits. Yeah. I think he was only about 4 or 5 at the time, but still, she was like,
Duke boat.
yeah, I do
You
this
Duke?
Duke boat. Yeah. But no, she didn't like the Thunderbird 2. She didn't like that at all.
Thunderbird 2.
But it was Thunderbird 4, it was underwater one, wasn't it? Because Thunderbird 2 is the big green one. And Thunderbird 4 lived inside Thunderbird 2, didn't they?
I thought 3 lived. Yeah,
3's
3
the
was
big
the
red
rocket.
one, wasn't it? Yeah.
4 was the yellow
Submarine.
sub. That's right.
That was one of my favourite
It
toys
lived in
I
2.
had.
2 was the one that had the big green wheel type thing with like big red legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, if Thunderbird 2 wasn't your favourite Thunderbird, you'd have a problem.
I liked 4.
But you get 4 in 2. So
And
if you
then-
get the toy of
yeah.
2, you get 4, so
And
that's okay.
Thunderbird 1 was like a blue.
Yeah, it was sort
like
of
a blue
silvery
rockety.
blue with a red head on it.
It was rockety.
Yeah, it
And
was
then
a rockety.
3 was the red rocket.
Yeah,
Like
and then
actually-
Thunderbird 5, wasn't it the big like spaceship and no one ever bought?
Yeah, I
They
never
fuck
had
about?
5.
No, I didn't have 5. I want to actually look them up. No, I don't.
Do you know what was
do.
class? Those Blue Peter Tracy Islands that people used to make?
Mate, Tracy Island was my... you know when you get a big toy of your childhood? Tracy Island was my big toy
Right.
of my childhood. Like.
I had a lot of like Manta
so
Force shit that was Kev's, and then I got my own one. I had this one that was called, I think it was called Manta Force.
What was Manta Force? I don't know if I know it.
It was like just like a sci-fi-ish sort of Star Warsy
Yeah.
type thing, but the men were about this size.
There's the toy, mate. What a toy that was. It's Tracy Island. That was the
Oh.
best toy. And then the
That's a
car with
great
Parker
time.
and all that. Oh,
Yeah,
remember
Thunderbird
that?
2, remember that?
Yeah, that was the one.
remember
Then
that.
there's Thunderbird 4
Yeah, and
sneaking
that
out.
wee button there, that red button,
Yeah.
broke that bit out.
Yeah, and that was an unbelievable toy. And then that went underneath the pool.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
fuck
that's
me.
right.
You know what? I'm going to go out and say it. They have not made a toy as good as Tracy Island in
In the
must
last
be
while.
decades.
Do you know what was class? Action Man shit.
Yeah,
I had a few of them. They
it
were
was good.
class.
And you know what else I like?
Action Man, the greatest hero of them all.
Who made Thunderbirds and all that? What are those guys called?
Jerry Anderson, and not to be confused with
With the top DJ.
Yep.
But they had there was a group, but they made like Stingray as well. Those toys were great as
Stingray,
well.
aye, those are
Stingray,
Stingray,
Stingray.
Stingray,
Yeah, that was great.
Stingray.
And then Captain Scarlett.
Captain
was
Scarlett and the Mr. Rons.
Yeah, the Mistrals were scary dudes.
I remember, I may have told this story. I'll be really quick because it fucking traumatized me. One day on the Big Breakfast, you know who I just acted there. So on the Big Breakfast one day, they said, coming up to 9 o'clock, we're going to show you how to make Mr. for the kids.
Like that's
right?
Mr.
Right, we're going to show you how to make this. And they referenced Blue Peter. Blue Peter showed you how to make Tracy Island. We're going to show you Captain Scarlett. Now, at this time in my life, I was Captain Scarlett.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean like I was on strings, but mentally, I was suspicious of people, and I would shoot you like this. Yeah. Right? And I was like...
Such a paranoid wee kid.
I know, right? And here, like, I mean...
Yeah.
Did I make people call me Scarlett from time to time?
Yes.
Maybe. Right? But Scarlett O'Hara, I don't go around in a dress. You know? I do declare. I just spat everywhere, sorry. Spat in your wee air book. So... MacBook Air. Fuck that. Anyway, is it called an AirBook?
It says Dave's MacBook Air.
It's called MacBook, and I call it an AirBook.
Listen,
I'm 50 in that way sometimes. Anyway, they said they were going to do this, and I said I like we need to get to school, but I played it with my mum. I was like, it's Captain Scarlett, and she was like, right, fine, we're going to be late, but we're going to stay here to watch this. Do you know what they did? And I mean, and they waited, and Mum's going, it's 9:15 here, I need to get just to school. Me and our Sheila are sitting there, and Sheila is secretly hoping we're going to get a day off. Yeah. And Mum's going, you're not getting a day off. Yeah. But we've stayed this long, 10 to 9, 5 to 9, I'm going, they've forgotten to do this, I'm going to get fucking eaten for this, right? And right at the end, I mean, like 8:58, the show's about the end. Fucking, they lift a CD and go, here, we're going to show you how to make the Mr. And they shine it up on the wall. And it makes like, and then everyone in the studio did it, and it shows you the wall. It's all the wee, the wee light circles that the Mr. were coming. And Mum was just like, get in the fucking car. Yeah. Like, oh, so grim.
But did you do that when you got home from school with the CD? Get your mother.
So
because you can only either be basically a Mr. or a dentist. If you had a CD, that was the old classic. Look at me, Mum. But the CD. But not the CDs were great. I missed them. I was thinking about those earlier. Like, remember, like, because what did I bought the Pied Piper of Hammond on Amazon Prime yesterday. Right. Because it's the weirdest movie I've ever seen.
Right.
It's just so weird. It's so weird.
Who's in it?
It's old. Right. It's like 1950s.
Right. Okay.
But I remember I used to watch it when I had a few, like back in the student days, and I just thought, I wonder if that's there, because I got the Pied Piper of Hammond book out of the library for Holly this week, and it was a fucking... Have you read the Pied Piper of Hammond?
Yeah, well, I read the story.
It's a big. It
is weird, all about rats and all.
Yeah, but like, I like the message in it. There's people in the Pied Piper of Hammond who you would be the mayor. If you were to act in it, you'd be the mayor in the Pied Piper of Hammond, because do you remember what the story is? So
I vaguely remember. Right. So isn't it that? You tell me, because I vaguely remember I had a wee thin book of it when I was a kid.
There's a lame boy, right? And this wee lame boy gets his legs run over by a horse and carriage, and he's known as the thief rats, which are just the wee kids that don't have any parents.
Yeah, like plague children.
So they live on the outside of the walls of Hamelin, right?
Yeah.
And they're sort of just, there's not much use for them. They never get it. They just they're ignored. And then inside Hamelin's quite a wealthy spot. So then the rats start coming for all the food that the rich folk are dumping outside Hamelin. And then eventually they get in, and the mayor sees this boy with this wee crutch is scaring off the rats. So he's like, you can come and live with me and be my rat boy. So they get him into the house, and he's like, listen, you can sleep inside beside the fire, but you must kill the rats for me. And he's like, all right. But then more and more rats come, because Hamelин's getting dirtier. The wealthier, they're trying to put a message across here. The wealthy are just discarding their rubbish, and they're not caring about anything. And there are more and more and more and more rats. And then, like, the mayor's like, he's like, I can't get rid of these rats. And the councillors that hang around, and the mayor's like, listen, what the fuck's wrong here? We all have rat kids, and they're doing fucking nothing. And then this flamboyant character appears in, like, a patchwork suit, the Piper. And he's like, listen, I'll get rid of the rats for you. And he's like, and the mayor's like, get rid of all the rats and I'll give you all the wealth you need. And he went, well, I want 1 gold coin. And he's like, but I can give you more. And he's like, no, if you for 1 gold coin, I'll get rid of all the rats in Hammond. And he's like, all right. So then the Pied Piper gets his wee flute out and brings all the rats. I mean, it's quite, to read this to your 5-year-old, it's a bit grim. All the rats get brought to the river and drowned to death. So he drowns all their... Now, again...
I thought that all the children followed the Piper, though.
Yes, but this is after the rats. So once he gets all the rats into the river, again, there's going to be more of a problem because there's thousands of rats now dead in the river.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that, did you?
Hashtag water source.
Exactly.
Hashtag our Derek.
Hashtag our Derek. So as the Hamlin, the Piper goes back to Hamlin, and the mayor, he's like, listen, I've got rid of the rats. My advice to you be, clean up your city. You know, get rid of all the rubbish. That's what's attracting the rats. You tidy it up a bit better. Maybe take a bit more care of your city. And the mayor goes, a rat catcher's telling me how to run my city? No. And he's like, what? And he goes, should we shook on it? You owe me 1 gold coin. He's like, no, I'm not giving a gold coin to a rat catcher. Leave. And the Pied Piper...
I remember all this. The version I had of it was a lot shorter than this.
But the Pied Piper just goes, nah. He goes, right. So
nah.
He goes, so basically, you're not paying me? And he was like, nah. And he's like, so you're going back on your promise to me? And the mayor's like, yeah, I'm not paying you. You're... And he went, all right. Whips out his flute again, starts playing it. All the parents are statues, and all the kids just follow the Pied Piper. Yeah, and he takes them all up into the mountainside, and it opens up the mountain, and all the kids go into the mountain, and then the wee lame boys following up. And in the movie, it's great because like, let me in. I'm so tired. No, let me, don't leave me. And then the Piper speaks to him through the wall, and he goes, way you back? Tell that fucking mayor I'll let the kids out if he tidies up the city and builds a play park and gets rid of all the money and has it. And he's, you've 1 year and a day, very specific. 1 year and a day. Again, what the fuck's the Pied Piper doing for an entire year in 1 day of all those kids in a mountain? Who knows? James Savile. But then your man goes down and he's like, listen, I spoke to the Piper and he says you need to get rid of all the wealth and tidy it up and build a park. And the mayor is so embarrassed, he takes all his gold rings off and he's like, let's smelt them to the ground, use them to build. So then they build all this nice. They redo Hamlin in a year, clean the streets, and then...
Communist message.
Yep,
really,
exactly. Like. But then he goes back. The boy, cause that's what he said. The Piper said, you come back and play my flute. It'll only play once. And it'll be, when the time's right, you play it, the music will start. And it did. And he went back and
did they give the kids back at the end?
Yeah.
See,
he did.
How many of them have been damaged, though?
Yeah, true.
2 a day for a year and a day.
Yeah. Know what I mean? And I tell you what, it's not the only magical flute the Pied Piper has. You blow on this.
Yeah, he's up throwing loads in there until the cave stinks. Do you know what I mean?
All the kids are walking back like the zombies in Walking Dead.
All the kids are coming back on crutches.
I don't know, like as a parent I would have taken issue with that. I'd be like, for an entire year and a day.
Can I ask why he's called the Pied Piper?
I never understood that.
Yeah. Did somebody pie him? Do you remember what that meant? Like to be
like
to
you
pied?
get pied in the face?
Yeah, but like maybe a year or two ago that phrase was being used
on Love Island.
Like basically like, oh, like you've publicly embarrassed me.
Yeah.
You've pied me. And I remember I was writing a thing, I was pitching a thing that was about, it was going to be like me doing like wee comedy history lessons. And one of them was going to be about the time that W.B. Yeats got pied so bad, right, by Maud Gonne. Do you know this story?
Nope, but I'm
great.
It's
really great. W.B. Yeats was really great, and he. So let me get this story right now. I'm gonna fuck this up, but he was after this woman called Maud Gonne, right? He was after it hard, right?
After a woman called Maud,
right?
I passing that.
I know, right? And but he loved it, right?
Yeah.
And let me get this now. So Maud Gonne basically kept turning him down for the ride, right? Mm-hmm. No thanks, WB. Keep writing your poems though. Like I love being, Judge Safdie's muse when he was writing Uncut Gems. Right? He loves all that. He loved having her as a muse. And then let me get this. Then she I believe took up with one of the 1916.
Wasn't Oscar Wilde though, was it?
What?
It wasn't Oscar Wilde.
It certainly wasn't.
No.
I think she took up. Can I look this up there quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I don't want to give you false.
Yes,
no. I believe she took up with one of the She did. She took up with one of the what do you call it? One of the 1916
Big up the
leaders.
1916. Can I just say, see, when I learnt about the 1916 leaders, some of them were a wee bit. They were a wee bit flaky. Because a lot of all the other fellas were off the war, and those lads were like, "Now's the time to strike," and they're all like, weren't they just like writers and all?
Some
of
them
them just
were,
like creatives.
A lot of people don't get. A lot of people don't want to talk about the fact that Padraig Pearse was probably a very fucking weird guy.
Yeah.
Probable pedo. Now, let me get this.
I mean, that's a great wrestling name for him.
Probable pedo,
Padraig Pearse. Quadruple P.
Quadruple P. Right, we're getting here. Hang on. We're getting here. Yeah, so hang on, fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. I know, fuck's sake. Yeah, so she took up with John McBride.
Dirty bastard.
Yeah, so he was that guy.
Yeah. Why do they all look identical in that period? They're all exactly the same.
So says us too.
I know.
Large units and beards. So she married John McBride, right? So
not Willie John McBride, the rugby player.
Having turned down at least 4 marriage proposals from W.B. Yeats. I mean, he's 4 times, dude. Between 1891 and 1901, she married John McBride, who was a war hero in the British Second Boer War in Africa, right? Then they had a daughter called Iseult Gone, right? And guess what she did? Guess what happened? Guess what happened?
To her?
So, yeah, guess what happened?
I don't
so
know.
she's been paid.
I mean, to be fair to W.B. Yeats, he looks like Stephen Hawking before the wheelchair, doesn't he? Which, I mean, here's the thing. Stephen Hawking looked better in the wheelchair. So, you know.
So, I need to get this here. I need, yeah.
Touch of Paul Martini's about him too, don't I?
Yeah, 100%. He's an oddball. Like, a wee touch of the Jeremy Ironses, I think.
Well, why do you think that Aaron Butler and William Thompson should do a podcast called Yeats? Because they're William and Butler.
Oh, William Butler.
Yeah.
They should call it William Butler. Yes, that's what they should call it.
Yes.
Yes. So let me get this right. So I believe this is the story.
Uh-huh.
So he asked her 4 times, including like people knew about this, like quite public. She pies him. He then hangs around. What do you hear for the ultimate pie, right? Mm-hmm. He hangs around the daughter, who he has known then since she was 4. Now that is
nonsense.
You are at a DNA level of bone collecting at that point. Like you are trying. Yeah. You're trying to snake in just into the fucking gene pool, right?
Yeah, it's like Twilight. He's trying to imprint on her early doors.
Right.
Wait, I'll just wait. I'll wait.
He's doing an Elvis, right?
Yeah.
Wait, right? And so,
not to be confused with Jelvis, the street performer.
So he ends up. He proposes to the daughter.
Oh no! Surely not a double decade pie in the making here.
Who also says, "Slice of pie, will you?" Right? She pies him, and then he bucks Maud gone eventually.
Oh man!
And it wasn't worth it.
No.
The 2 of them basically were like, "That was a nightmare." Now that's the only bit that I need to just double check that he actually. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Why am I so scunnered for WB Yeats?
I wrote a whole thing. Do you know what I would love to do?
Later?
I'm gonna go into my emails here and type in the word Yeats, because see if I have this. I researched this hard.
But do you think in his head he's about to deliver like a Mrs. Doyle level of mug? Like, you think he's about to get with the daughter and be like, "Here, Maud, suck on this"?
I'm literally looking up the phrase "pied" here on my thing. No, I don't fucking know.
So why does he still have any public respect? Surely that should supersede
not enough
any
people,
work he's done.
Not enough people know about this.
Yeah.
That's a
multi-generational pie.
Yeah,
like that's the double mug.
I just need to get this because I don't want to give you the wrong. I'm sure that he ended up throwing the lad at her. Like, hang on.
Oh dear.
I want to find this WB Yates thing. Sorry, the Maud. Now look at that. Why is Maud gone? Not an entire section.
Why does she not have her own Wikipedia? That's what I want to know.
She does. To be fair, but it was
How do you spell gone? Gone?
Gonne, I think. Yeah.
Maud gone.
Yeah.
Is there an E in the Maud or just the?
No, just
Maud's ice cream.
Yeah, just a D.
Oh. I tell you what.
Oh, here we go. There's a whole bit.
Could I just say? I mean, that's a lot of effort for somebody that looks like
an extra.
Stephen Fry. She looks like Stephen Fry. I mean, he looks like the Elephant Man. She looks like Stephen Fry. They're stinking.
Yeah, but both rotten. Like, can you imagine? It would have stank. Like,
yeah. Oh.
So she.
Oh no, that's the daughter they waited for. To be fair, she's better looking than Maud Gone. Like,
yeah,
the daughter's prettier.
She has Irish rebel blood in her. Like,
yeah.
So 1889, he meets Maud Gone, a 23-year-old English heiress, an ardent Irish nationalist.
And also fucking Maleficent. Look at her. What the fuck is that?
And then she said she met Yates as a paint-stained art student. I've got news for you, Ma, that wasn't paint. That was a wee fucking Dulux one coat of his own, right?
A wee matte finish.
Yeah.
My God.
A wee fucking satiny one. Did it shine in the sun? Anyway. So... blah blah blah. They met.
I'm going to get Ben to pop all these photos up.
Proposed in 1891 in Ireland. She rejected him. Later admitted from that point the troubling of his life began. He proposed to her 3 more times. Now, what do you hear about this? So he licks his wounds. Right. In fairness, he licked his wounds. 1891. He asked her. He licked his wounds for 8 years, and then he gets desperate.
Licked his wounds.
Yeah. He's paint stained. Right. he was fucking paint staining every day. Right. What do you hear us saying? 1899? No. 1900? No thanks. 1901? Right? She refused each proposal, and in 1903 marries this other guy, right?
That's it, we need to know, though, what did William Butler do whenever he found out that she got married to someone else? I
think he was raging.
Why didn't he kill himself?
He derided him. He derided John McBride in letters and in poetry.
He wrote a diss tape.
horrified by Gone's marriage at losing his muse, and she converted to Catholicism, which greatly offended him. He was worried his muse would come under the influence of priests and do their bidding.
Why did that word leave our language? The muse. That is fucking tremendous.
So after the birth of their son in 1904, Gone and McBride ended their marriage, although they were unable to agree. Blah blah blah. Fucking all this. Gone made a series of allegations against her husband, with Yates as her main second.
Oh no, so he's a wee rat as well.
He was a wee rat, right? They didn't go to court. Blah blah blah. All this. 1895. No, hold on. Right, so his friendship with her ended. Yet in Paris, 1908. That's 20 years, isn't it? Nearly after he met her, and after he'd been repeatedly smashed in the face, they finally consummated their relationship.
So what age are they when he
finally slit it?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm having to go back to the top here.
But he must have given her the ick so many times. I know, right? So many times.
1865. So he was 43 when he finally did it with her, right?
Right, see, just for the sake of the podcast, can you, as a man who acts, I want you to act out WB Yates' face at the moment of docking when he finally gets in there. And then I want you to do her face.
What do you hear?
Oh no!
The long years. This is what he said. The long years. I can't even read it. The long years of fidelity rewarded at last, was how another of his lovers described the event. Yates was less sentimental and later remarked that the tragedy of sexual intercourse is the perpetual virginity of the soul. I think that means a busted in 6 seconds, right? And
I'm going to use that.
The relationship. Oh yeah. What is this tragedy? What is the virginity of my soul?
It's the virginity of my soul.
I have prayed so hard to have all earthly desire taken from my love for you, and dearest, loving Loving you as I do, I've prayed, and I'm praying still that the bodily desire for me may be taken from you too. That's what she said to him.
Oh no, they're two freaks.
Do you know what she
and you know
said?
what? That's why the band's called U2. Bono loves it.
Listen.
Bono.
Let me translate what she said back to him. So he said, bollocks. That was over quickly, and
I mean, 20 years in the making. You want at least 10 minutes,
right?
You know, just as soon as he feels the tip.
I was just with.
He doesn't even go in.
As soon as he feels its breath on him.
It's just the lady will literally kiss the bell and he's gone.
He says,
dear.
so she wrote to him, listen to this, and I translate it. I have prayed so hard to have all earthly desire taken from my love for you. I am actually asking God to stop this, right? That's what she says. and I pray that God stops you too.
Yeah.
Because this is grim. God was sending, this is by January 1909, so they bucked in 1908. By January 1909, God was sending letters to Yeats praising the advantage given to artists who abstain from sex.
Oh, so she's basically be like,
it'll help your poetry. Yeah. It'll help your poetry to never buck me again. It'll help. Nearly 20 years later, this is unbelievable. 20 years later, Yeats recalled the night with Gone in his poem A Man, Young and Old. This is what he says: my arms are like the twisted thorn, and yet their beauty lay. The first of all the tribe lay there, and did such pleasure take. She had brought great Hector down, and put all Troy to wreck. Now, I definitely would have rhymed thorn with porn.
Yeah. Or born. I've been waiting since the day you were born for you to be pricked by my thorn.
And then basically, it says here, they just sort of stopped talking to each other.
He ghosted her after all these years. He
He hung around and proposed to the daughter, and she told him to get gone.
Oh, that is
Isn't
so
that crazy?
That is hilarious.
Imagine getting pied that way.
That desperate.
Sorry, I know that
many years.
That was a lot, but that isn't that.
Do you know
crazy?
what, guys? Listen, we're going to have a new history podcast. I know Shane dabbled in an Irish history podcast. He doesn't love it like we love it. Like
every day is a school day, Dave.
Yeah,
that's crazy, isn't it?
But I didn't know he was like that. Whenever you have people's art and you're like, oh, they're this, they never assess how much of a fucking incel he was.
No.
They're like, see this guy, desperate bastard.
Yeah, no one ever says that. No one goes W.B. Yeats, the fucking paint stained fucking.
Yeah, because you know what? You're never gonna go, oh, Jimmy Savile is some TV presenter now.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be nonce number one on nonce. Lord Farquhar.
Have you ever I mean, I don't know if you want to get really tore into this one. Padraig Pearse has a published poem called.
Fuck off! Can you stop?
Sorry, he does.
Giving all the peace. What was he? What's his rest of name? What was the other thing he said?
It wasn't prize pedo, but it was
a prize pedo for Padraig Pearse in his public
poems. Sorry, that's fucking unbelievable. He has a poem called Little Lad of Tricks about a wee lad that he taught who he punished, but like wanted to also punish. Yeah. It's disgusting.
With his purple penis.
Yeah, man. It's mental. Yeah. And you can read this. Also, who was the guy? Oh, bollocks! Is it? It wasn't Thomas Hardy. What do you call
the actor? Who's Bane?
Is it Bernard Shaw has who is it that has there's published letters now that are filthy?
I'll go for Bernard Shaw. See Bernard Shaw letters.
Dirty letters, yeah. I think it's him. George Bernard Shaw. He has these letters. Somebody does. I'm going somebody has dirty letters now. Is that one? Is it him?
It just I don't know if they're dirty. Like
they're dirty. Like if it's him.
So just should I go for poets' dirty letters?
No. Hang on. Irish writer. It may not be Shaw. Oh, is it James Joyce? It might be James Joyce. Hang on.
Dirty Letters. Irish writer, Dirty Letters.
Uh,
James Joyce, yeah.
yeah.
James Joyce's love letters will make you want to burn your copy of Ulysses.
Mate, these are unbelievable.
Oh, here we go. I've got 13 not safe for work lines from James Joyce's incredibly dirty love letters.
What website is this from? Is this from the Paris Review?
This is tremendous. It's from mentalfloss.com. Like a hog riding a sow. My love for you allows me to pray to the spirit of eternal beauty and tenderness mirrored in your eyes, to fling you down under me on that soft belly of yours and fuck you up behind like a hog riding a sow, glorying in the open shame of your upturned dress and white girlish drawers, and in the confusion of your flushed cheeks and tangled hair.
Well, here's some stuff. When men tell in my presence hear filthy or lecherous stories, I hardly smile, yet you seem to turn me into a beast. It was you yourself, you naughty, shameless girl, who first led the way. It was not I who first touched you long ago, down at Ringsend. Where's that? That's a good, shouldn't it? And then
yeah.
It was you slid your hand down. Mate, I can't even read this. It's fucking disgusting. Tickling fingers, fat and stiff as it was. And into your hand and frigged me.
He loves frigging.
He loves a frig, like.
Listen,
mate, this is. Look at this. Fuck up, love. Fuck up, love. Look at this. Look.
Yeah.
Murmur tenderly to me. Fuck up, love.
Yeah.
I don't
Perhaps
know
the horn I had was not big enough.
Uh,
Listen to this one. Be my whore, my mistress, as much as you like, my little frigging mistress, my little fucking whore. You're always my beautiful wild flower of the hedges, my dark blue rain-drenched flower. He's fucking stinking. Oh.
And then he just turns around and fucking
Oh no.
sticks Ulysses in.
Sorry. I need to read this in its entirety.
Is it number 8?
Yeah. The title of this quote is Fat Dirty Farts. At every fuck I gave you, your shameless tongue came bursting out through your lips. And if I gave you a bigger, stronger fuck than usual, fat, dirty farts came spluttering out of your backside. Fat, dirty farts. So he's giving her a buck. Oh no. Please read number 9.
Number 9. Arse full of farts.
On the 45.
You had an arse full of farts that night, darling, and I fucked them out of you. Big fat fellows, long windy ones. Quick little merry cracks, and a lot of tiny little naughty farties ending in a long gush from your hole. This is James Joyce. Fuck me.
But what bit of that?
A long windy one. Is a long windy one the ones that go like this?
Yeah. But what? I didn't know they had this language then.
No.
This is fucking hilarious.
10. No end of her farts in my face. I hope Nora will let off no end of her farts in my face so that I may know their smell also.
James Joyce. Oh, please. Can I just finish the segment with number 13? Darling, do not be offended by what I wrote.
Don't be offended by me bucking the fucking shit out of your oxters.
I'm going to get Ben to put like romantic music over this. To read the love letters of James Joyce. Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
Aren't they mental?
Oh, I didn't know they even had language like that in those days. Let
crazy.
me fuck the big
dirty farts out of your hole. Oh, long windy ones, little merry cracks. Yeah. Oh,
I think that's the most I've ever laughed. Oh my
Isn't
god,
that crazy?
That is. I love stuff like that.
That's fucking literally James Joyce, like.
Oh my god. I
Every-
need a drink of water after that. Let me see. James Joyce.
To be fair to that website, they've dissected that great, like, and added in great little titles.
Big dirty farts. I didn't even know
Fat dirty farts.
Oh, G wants to ask this question. Was far through these because we've had too much fun.
Sorry, see, just before we do
Yeah.
that though, see in that time, they had this language and they had this banter.
Yeah.
They definitely didn't have shower gel though, so
No.
it must have just been fucking jiving.
But as well, because I'm sure the big hairy holes as well. So it's probably, the smell probably stuck about a bit. It's like battling to get through the thorns of the arse crack. Oh, it's a nightmare. Those big dirty farts. And do you reckon, like, the way he's getting on there, he's writing on love, there must have been no shame. She must be going, but then, could they have been real farts or
just
were they
fucking
queefs?
cracking eggs all over the place.
And he's like, nothing is turning me on more than your shitty hole. What a dirty pig. I love that. Oh, G wants to pitch the idea of a comedian's Hell's Kitchen special. A first round of signature dishes, a second round of dinner service, then a final round of determining the winner. Discuss how this could be done and what would be your signature dish.
It's funny you should mention this, James, because
It's James Joyce.
he just, what's my signature dish? A fucking freshly poached egger, you know, just fucking
Oh my god. Oh, dare me.
straight out of Nora's Gap, locally sourced. So no, I was actually talking to Joxer yesterday about maybe doing an event in there.
All right, I'm
involve
glad you
cookery.
said that. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Oh.
Yeah. I was
But doing this the big
talking to him about just fucking opening my asshole in there.
Can I just take a big deuce in the middle of the floor? What do you think?
Is there a way for me to do fat dirty farts in here?
Big dirty stinking fart.
There's some. Those are simple words but put together. They're brilliant. Like
Big
fat dirty one.
dirty. It's always highbrow. It's always highbrow.
What would your signature dish be though if you were cooking something?
I have a pasta dish I make myself. Right. It's called Elliot's House Pasta, and I can't tell you the ingredients.
Okay.
But it's the taste supreme.
Right.
It's delicious.
Do you know, I haven't done this in a while, but I do love making my own chicken cave. It's great.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about big dirty farts. What
He was definitely a wafter, wasn't he? Like,
you know what? Now, next time I'm in Dublin, I'm going to get a photo beside the statue of James Joyce and just go, fucking. Do you reckon he's going out of doggy style, I guess?
Hold a bottle of fucking Febreze over his cock.
Jesus Christ. History, yeah. I hope Prince Philip's love letters come out.
Oh, mate, yeah.
I'm a thief of your queef. Oh. But then you know what? Because of James Joyce's language surprising you, Prince Philip would probably be like, "Oh, I had a mouthful of that ripper from your shitter, and it was oh, fuck me." Or Prince Andrew's love letters, they'd be in crayon. It'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, talk to me about your chicken cave. Tell me how you make it from scratch.
So you get the chicken. You need to get a chicken, like a chicken breast that still has the mini fillet attached, ideally, right? So the one way of doing it is to cut a slit in the top of the breast, and you load your garlic butter in there. Now I would always add a couple of other herbs.
So how do you make the garlic butter? What's the process there?
Take butter, a few cloves of garlic in there.
Do you crush or do you chop?
I'll either chop or crush. Like if I'm chopping it, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Put that in there. Finely chopped rosemary. Finely chopped parsley. Pepper. If you're using salted butter, you don't really need salt. And you put that into the slice, and then you take the mini fillet and press it in so that
block it.
It basically blocks it in, and then you take that piece and you flour it, egg it. Flour it, egg it. Let me get this. Yeah, flour, egg. Flour, egg, breadcrumbs. Yeah. Right. And then you put it in a pan. Need a metal handle pan. You lightly fry it there on both sides. Turn it back over onto the first side. Oven. Into the oven for 25ish.
I want to ask you
because it's unreal.
I thought about you whenever I was in Newcastle. and we went to this place for breakfast called the Dispensary. Big shout out to Dispensary. Get pork. They were like sort of a veganish based place, which for anyone who doesn't speak Irish, it's vegan. They only sausages they sold were chicken, and they had turkey rashers, which disappointed me because when you start a stag do, you want a big fry.
Yeah.
But it was tasty. That hash browns. Give me some halloumi too. All good. But one of their signature dishes were chicken and waffles. But the chicken was done in
Did you say it's
cornflakes.
vegan though?
Well, it's primarily based towards veg. They have some like chicken dishes, but it's for the most part vegetarian. But the chicken and waffles, but it was in cornflake batter. Have you ever had any of that?
I have had that before. It's very dirty. Nice. I'm trying to remember where I had that. Or did I just watch Gordon Ramsay making it? I think it might have been that.
Yeah, well, I went to Shearer's for a pint. Had some Newcastle brown ale there. It was nice.
Was it good?
Newcastle's a fun time.
Shearer's actually his pub.
Shearer's is in St James's Park.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
right,
so
okay.
I mean, here's a question for you. Would you rather be, say, Thierry Henry? You win everything. And obviously you're loved at Arsenal, you have a statue, that's probably a bad example.
Handball against Ireland though,
yeah, true. But what about like an Iniesta? So you win everything in the game, you're considered one of the best players of all time, but you're not Barca's best player, blah blah. You win everything.
Yeah, you're in one of the best teams.
Or Shearer wins the Premier League once with Blackburn and has his own pub at the stadium and a big statue out the front. What would you rather?
In his hometown.
In his hometown.
I'll say this about Alan Shearer. I was always melted that he never came to United.
Yeah.
Because he was absolutely...
Banter, eh?
That's top banter.
Yeah, thank you.
He was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
like,
he was a smashing player.
Mate, he could you imagine, though, what he would have done at a club like United or even Arsenal?
It's a bit cheeky there in the Shearer's pub, the Arsenal shirt on, having a wee pint in Yogi. Nice
do
time.
Do you know what I mean, though? Like, what he could have done at a club where he was maybe getting better service.
He would have won a lot if he was at United. Can I show you some shit banter that I loved? There was a bar called the Earl, and it had like a stained glass window at the front, but there was no eye holes, so I thought it was really good banter that I looked through the eye holes.
That was good
banter. I don't know, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I don't know what to do with this picture, but
that was good banter. It's
a lot of fun. I'll post it somewhere with nothing, no anything, just straight in. Speaking of no context, Matthew Kilpatrick's come in with a lot of question here. He said, as guys with good nicknames, I thought you might like this. My best mate James acquired the nickname of Marty in primary school and still called it to this day, bearing in mind he's now 32. Reason behind it, he was always crying his lamps out, and the teacher was a huge fan of Marty Pello, the lead singer of Wet Wet Wet. Have you lads heard of any other cracking nicknames?
That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
I love that one. That I don't want to burn Butler's material, but Shammy Apple Tart is one of the best things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Other good nicknames. Fuck, my mind's gone blank.
Mm-hmm.
There was an older woman who worked in Tesco. This is true. Worked in Tesco Dunmurray in the milk aisle.
Yeah.
And she was really slow, horrendously slow. And her name was Edith.
Yeah.
And we all called her Speedith.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed.
I saw some guy somewhere. He had the nickname MKE.
Right.
I don't know why he called MKE, but he was blind in one eye, and his name was Mike. So he's called him MKE.
Oh my god. A mate of mine tried before to make a nickname stick, and everybody just wouldn't have it.
You know what? See, if you pick your own nickname, it never sticks.
He wanted to be called the Mac, as in, great song.
Yeah.
Return of the Mac.
So anytime he came back from the shops, he loved it.
Yeah, and no, people just wouldn't have it.
Remember for a while I wanted to be called the greatest man that ever lived?
I remember that.
You brought me on stage one
said
time.
It a couple times,
Let's bring that back, the greatest man that ever lived. That was a lot of fun. I don't know, there's no one really with standout nicknames in our group anyway, I don't think.
No, I'm trying to think of ones from school around the area. You know?
Oh, here's one, just keeping on the nicknames. Dean McAllister wants to know what would be your porn name.
Oh. Lance, something like Lance Van Steak or something like that. You know what I mean?
I saw a politician, someone was retweeting him on Twitter today, and his name is I think it's Richard R. Swank. So like the guy was like, I could not make up a name better than Dick R. Swank.
Yeah.
You know, if I tried.
Yeah. What about a name though? For me, it's just like an actual like the pudding.
Yeah, well,
you know?
see, if you were to do porn, I think you would have to do one-off reenactment of the Relax video, and you just call it Twanky Goes to Hollywood, and it just be you just put khaki in people everywhere.
Have I told you about that time that I saw an advert on a website saying, now I had originally got onto this website by looking for writing work, right? Yeah. I typed in writing work, and I got to it through like a message board. Yeah. It's in LA, and then it was like writing work near you was one. So I clicked on it, and it took me to a writing work thing on Dublin's Craigslist. And then I clicked on other media work on one. And one of the adverts in other media work was old bukkake bitch needed. Yeah. Right? Wow. And I was just like, I like that it's advertised as being needed but not wanted. Yes. Because no one wants her. No.
But needs it.
And also old. Yeah. It's just...
Not just a regular.
There's just...
Because the person maybe doesn't want that much of a stream.
No.
They just want it to trickle.
Do you know what I like about it as well, though? There's no fat in that advert.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Old bukkake bitch needed. That's everything.
Nothing underneath, no description. Just that's it. Yeah. You know what? Thinking about it, I would go by the name Davy Dixon.
Dixon Mall is good. Yeah.
But then you could go throw a dirty in the front of it. Dirty Davy Dixon Mall.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah. Or else fucking
Dixie Enormous. There's a good name.
The public pervert, Patrick Pierce.
Public pervert. Public poetry pervert, Patrick Pierce. Peck the pie.
And bucked it. Bukkake pie and fucking cream pie. Dominic Alexander says, Twank, any tips for somebody just starting out and learning the basics of acoustic guitar?
Don't give up. That's the first one, because when you're learning and you're getting calluses on your fingers, it hurts for the first wee while. So don't give up over the pain. Try to learn. You have to think about why you're learning the guitar. If you're trying to learn to accompany yourself singing, the quickest way into it is to pick songs that you like and just fucking learn every chord that's in that song. And then practice. This is a good practice. See, just switching between chords that go together. Yeah. G, C, D, A minor, F, C, G. Just practice switching between those in different orders. Learn bar chords as soon as you can. And power chords as well, just to get yourself started into that way of holding the guitar.
Are power chords kind of like the chords that you play when you're like jumping over walls and stuff?
Yeah, they're the the chords you would play a lot in punk music, maybe just 2 or 3 strings at a time.
Yes. I need to wrap this up because I know you have a meeting and I've got lunch in 7 minutes. So I was going to ask you more question about new metal rock and like why the guitarists play leaning down like this. But that's a story for another day. And just a quick one as well from Dominic. Who's your favourite comedian at the moment outside of Northern Ireland? So who you like watching? Who do you look up to? Who floats your boat?
Bill Burr, Frankie Boyle, Chappelle,
Lacey.
Lazy, did you say?
No, Chappelle Lacey. It's a younger.
Oh, sorry.
Silly banter for me. No one gets it.
Still watch a lot of like old Patrice O'Neill stuff.
Yeah, you know who my favourite is? Cat Williams. Love that guy. Yeah. Another question quickly. Have you watched The Last of Us and have you played the game?
I haven't.
I played the game, found it too boring because I was really into Grand Theft Auto at the time, and it was the first level of the game. You can't move the characters from where they're going.
I hate that.
Aaron, friend of the show, said, if you and Ciaran had a Freaky Friday moment and switched bodies, what would your plans for the day be? I can tell you straight, I would go down to Dublin and get a photo of James Joyce with you as you.
Wafting.
Yeah.
What would my plan be?
Yeah.
I'd love to do that thing where I'll get away with walking along a beach somewhere being like, morning!
Yeah. It'd be a lot of fun. You know what? I've never eaten chicken and waffles just out of principle. Because, see, whenever everyone's
are you going there now?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it because it's like watching Game of Thrones. Like, everyone's doing it, I'm not doing it.
It's brilliant though.
So if I change to you, I would eat chicken and waffles.
Have it.
So then technically...
What are you going to get now?
Probably fucking Caesar salad or something.
It's a good salad to be fair enough,
Jordan, my friend, wants to know, this is not a request, or it's not a question, but it's a request. Can Ciaran serenade me quickly? My husband doesn't got a musical bone in his body, and Ciaran's got a lovely wee voice.
What do you want me to sing you, Dave? I'll sing us out.
Right, sing us out, okay, we'll come back to that then. JR says, would you ever make cameo videos for like singing birthdays and messages and stuff?
What's that?
A cameo, people pay you to do wee messages to them and stuff.
Is that website where Nigel Farage got fucked over?
Yes. Up there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know. Would anybody? I mean, do you not have to like? Would people?
I think people would be keen on that. What about this?
Is it rare though? Is it a wee bit like
Well, Paddy McDonald does it, so a wee bit.
Is it? Does he?
Oh, why?
Is it a wee bit rare to go like when you're like at our level to be like doing stuff like that when like you haven't been asked to do it?
I think a wee bit.
Isn't
I think
it?
a wee bit.
It's not cool. Like,
yeah. Kelsey wants to know: would you ever go back to Carlisle?
Never.
No.
If I can. If I can fucking avoid Carlisle.
Sorry, I'm over to the next question. Oh, you might have seen Fens. He's an artist, graffiti artist. Very good artist. I
have seen some.
Love his work. He has said I was watching South Park.
I was watching. Me to Cartman. He's dead.
I was watching South Park the other night, and this guy popped up. How much does it look like Dr. Bartlett?
To be fair, it does look like me. That's absolutely fine, mate. See if I'd have been a Cartman joke, mate, I was going to be fucking...
I'm going to give Ben's going to stick this up.
Yeah, that does look like me.
Like, see if you were to be drawn on
in
South
Park. Yeah, that's
exactly.
To be fair play, mate, because I was getting PTSD there to being called Cartman in school.
Oh, no, it was so much fun. Wow, Samuel has said... Oh, that's some backstory I didn't know about, and he's obviously Googled me here, and it said Dave Elliott is an English former professional footballer and midfielder who began his career as an apprentice before moving to Newcastle United, and I'm 78 years old. There you go.
Great.
I mean, listen, enough people listen to this show to go and fix my fucking Wikipedia for me. Go and set me up on Wikipedia and fix it so I'm not a 78-year-old footballer. But listen, this has been one of the most fun I've ever had on the podcast. The James Joyce bit is my favourite thing I've ever done ever. That's tremendous. I cannot wait to watch that back. Ciaran, serenade us out with a wee short number and then let's go to meetings.
Tell me what you want to.
I think just go for something soft. A wee bit of I would say do a bit of Sinatra, but you do
a wee bit of Sinatra, right? Hang on. What's a good Sinatra? You know, something that I might know. No, hang on.
What about like Tony Bennett maybe?
I don't know enough Bennett.
Bennett's good. A wee bit of
I could give you. I'm trying to think. I want to give you Sinatra now that you've said it. I'm just trying to think. I can't. My mind's terrible.
New York. It's a classic.
Start spreading the news.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm leaving today.
Bum, bum, bum. I
wanna be a part of it. New York. These
vagabond shoes.
These fat dirty farts.
Have torn me apart.
I bucked them out of your back in peace.
Big dirty farts.
I prefer the merry little cracks that fall out of your merry little crack.
It's up to you, big dirty farts. Patrick Pierce, the pussy puncher. See you next week.
I'm the SLY guy.